There are certain things that divide people. There are cat people, dog people, Batman, Superman, Star Wars, Star Trek, and then Letterman, Leno. Like
Yes.
you cannot, you can only be on one side or the other mostly with stuff like that.
It's true.
Or this way in this particular thing. Letterman is up on top, as he should be. And then
I wouldn't say that. I would say it'd be more like Leno way here, and then a good Letterman, maybe on the side.
If you want to flip your phone upside down, feel free, but it doesn't change the actual reality. So, so talk to me about what you love about Leno. What made you fall in love with late night television, and what made you ultimately create a show about monologues?
I'm comedian Timmy Boyle, and this is the greatest live Instagram comedy experience that nobody knew about.
Hey everyone, welcome to my living room. I'm enjoying it's actually a peanut butter and blueberry smoothie. And I thought I'd kind of have this here. But thanks for showing up. Those of you who are starting to come in. Looks like Robert Beckham is here now. Swimmer Davey is in. We've got some people in here. Thank you so much. To episode 3 of Calling Comedians in Cquarantine. There's 3 C's in that. It's pretty brilliant. Anyways, thank you for tuning in tonight. Last night we had a great time with John Hollingsworth from the Fidgets, an improv group here in Canada, as well as the night before we had Joey ILO on the show. And tonight, Marijane Baker's here. We got, Chris Wineland is already in. Chris Wineland is our guest tonight, host of the Monologue Show, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. But I'm excited about this. You know what? It's been a long time now. It feels like months that we've been in the house, but I've realized that my life hasn't really changed much. When I'm not touring, this is what I do. I sit around in my joggers and my hoodie, and I do a little work on the computer, create a little content, and drink smoothies. So far, my life hasn't changed other than the fact that a weekend is about to come, and obviously I won't be having any gigs, but this show hopefully will fill that gap in my own heart and mind, and hopefully will provide a little bit of laughter for those that are seeking an escape from their homes. You can't really maybe walk outside, but you can come on and check this out. So this is day 3, the 3rd episode of the show of Calling Comedians in Cquarantine, and I hope you guys enjoy what is about to happen. Crash Cody is there. Oh, Cody had a crash. That's an interesting name. So anyways, we're going to get right into this thing. I'm going to bring in our guest for tonight, Chris Wineland, comedy, who has, he jumped the gun there, already sent a request to be in the live video. It's supposed to be me calling comedians in quarantine, but I guess technically, because I'm also in quarantine, he could call me, and he's a comedian, so it still works out. Either way, the premise of the show hasn't been destroyed. So let's bring in Chris Wineland here. Let's see. We click this thing, I believe, and we're gonna go. Chris Klein wants to be in your live. Let's bring him in here. Let's see. Did that work? Waiting. Chris Wineland. You asked to be, and there he is.
Hey,
Chris Wineland. How are you, man?
Dude, I'm good, man. How are you? What is in your smoothie?
Wait, you missed the opening? What, you always skip the monologues?
Yeah.
How ironic.
Well, I heard you say it was a smoothie.
It is a smoothie. And usually I use a banana base because that's what thickens it up. But I've been stuck. Oh, I want to talk to you about your drink in a minute. Look at that. That's nice. But I completely ran out of bananas. I'm hoping that the store in town has them because we have been drinking smoothies at a frightening rate around here. So now this is literally just peanut butter, like 3 giant scoops of peanut butter and like half a bag of blueberries.
Okay, well then that's not a smoothie, sir. That's just a really strange snack that you're eating. A smoothie is a lot more than just peanut butter and whatever you could find in your fridge.
What's the definition? What's the definition of a smoothie, my friend?
I don't know, something green in it. There's got to be something green. Well, I don't really know too much about smoothies, but that's my theory.
Okay, well,
kale. You need kale, Tim.
What if I said that the blueberries have been sitting around for a while and had a green tint?
All right, that's probably okay.
Fair enough. Excellent. Hey, thanks for coming on the show. So this is our third episode. So you're our third guest ever on what is probably going to be. I'm running this show every day till quarantine ends, so it's probably going to be about a 10-year run. So I'm looking forward to what's about to happen. And you can always now say that you were the third guest.
Ooh.
And it's look, we got I don't even know how to keep up with people here. I'm trying to wave to people, Chris. I don't know how this works, but anyways. So I wanted to talk to you about comedy, about being in Cquarantine. You like the 3 C's, calling comedians in quarantine? Yeah, that's it.
Just like comedians, you know, that other show that we're not going to label.
Yeah, no, we can't talk about that one. But but clearly, like it's not even creative. It's just that's just 3 C's. This one had a little bit of a higher wit to it. But anyways.
No, I actually like the Cquarantine because it sounds more fun to say.
And that's what we need.
Yeah.
More fun. This was a bad idea to drink this, by the way.
I know you were definitely ready for a question, and then you just chose the drink. You're like, okay.
I think
that's like rule number 1 of interviewing somebody. You don't take a drink before you ask. All right.
Here's the thing, though. What I love about this show, there's no rules. I'm in my living room, Chris. There is 0 rules. I'm not even wearing socks. Like there is 0. Like there's no rules to this other than to just enjoy ourselves and have a good time and show people a little background. You know, they're in your living. Is that your living room or what is that?
This is some other person's living room. I kind of just broke in. I didn't know where to go.
Well, in the quarantine life, you can it's like looting is already beginning. I imagine.
That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah, I already have places I'm gonna loot.
Now, where are you based? Where are you?
I'm based. You're in Canada. I'm based just south of your town, Arizona, and so it's just south. It's
like east of Guelph.
Yeah, east of Guelph. Yes,
Excellent.
I said that.
All right.
I heard you say that on our tour together all the time. I was like, yep, east of Guelph.
Everything is east of Guelph.
Yeah. And
so
you were just called out on your no wool socks, sir. My socks are always on my feet. I quarantine my feet constantly. Why are you not quarantining your feet?
Well, the reality is, as I mentioned last night, I don't even wear pants for these shows. So the hoodie just goes on simply to try to create some air of me preparing for my day.
Should I be taking off my pants? Is that what I'm supposed to?
If we want more viewers, it's up to you. Right now we have 4, so let's double.
We'll get into double digits, you know.
So today we had rain. I don't know if it rains where you are.
No, but it has, but not today. No.
Okay, so I was super excited. I posted a video of it on Instagram because, like, I'm not like a doctor or a scientist or anything, but I'm like pretty sure that the virus is done. Like, rain just washes the germs away. So like we're pretty much clean up here in Canada now. Hopefully, you guys get some rain soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We've had rain and we've had just more sickness, I feel. So, because we're Arizona, so we're supposed to be a dry heat. And when you're in dry heat, a lot of sicknesses can't really exist here. But during this whole sickness, it's been cloudy, which has never been cloudy here. And it's been rainy and cold. And today it hasn't rained, but it's still remained cold, which usually, I say cold. Our cold is probably 2 different things. But
So what you're saying is that when the rain came here and pretty much wiped our germs all clean, then the rain clouds went down to you and brought the sickness.
There you go.
So Canada has actually caused your outbreak.
I think so. Yeah, and had you guys have closed the border quicker, then the rain wouldn't have moved down.
Right. Yes. I don't know how high we can close the borders. I don't know if we can close it up to cloud height.
I think you can. I think you can go all the way. It's a universal thing.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Fascinating. Yeah. Well, that's what I really wanted this show to be about. So that sort of information is amazing. I want to welcome everybody who's starting to pop in here. We're climbing up the viewership pretty quickly here. My name's Timmy Boyle. That's Chris Wineland on the bottom, depending on which way you've got your phone base. And you are on calling comedians in Cquarantine. We're both drinking. I got a smoothie and you've got water.
I've got a smoothie.
I think you can just call anything in a cup smoothie. I think
Yeah.
that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So, as I want to talk to you about late night television, because that's where both of our passions lie.
Yeah.
But I do want to quickly follow up. Last night I made a prediction. Somebody said that I looked like Kiefer Sutherland from the 24 TV show.
Okay.
And then said basically I could stop the virus. And so I did promise last night that 24 hours later I would stop the virus. I'm going to admit I napped a lot today, so I got kind of a bit behind. So the virus isn't solved. The rain kind of came in to have to do that. But I am going to get on that. And so I just want to update everybody that I haven't forgotten that that's kind of what I'm supposed to be doing.
Good. And while you're doing that, a lot of people say that I look like John Reap, who is a comedian that nobody knows of. And so for the next 24 hours, I as well will just do nothing. Or whatever I do, nobody will really know about. So I'm kind of doing the same thing.
Does John Reap also say, people say I remind him of Chris Wineland, a comedian that no one knows about? Like, does it work both ways?
I hope so. I hope so. People have been tagging him in. Yeah, I'm trying to get all my fans to be angry at him for no reason.
Nice.
This whole quarantine's really turning me sour, man. It's turning me sour.
I hope it comes to an end soon. Like literally, that's what I'm down to. So I need it to go. I need it to go a little bit longer. I don't know if you have.
Yeah, I'm not using toilet paper, but I am using the felt side of nice containers now. You know, this one has a pen. I've used my wife's engagement ring case, like just whatever we could use. You know.
What else do you need a pen case for?
Right.
All right. So I want to talk to you first about your show briefly, and then talk a little bit about. We're going to come back to your show after, but in between there, I want to sandwich in kind of this Letterman, Leno, late night TV show type of stuff. Yeah. So tell us first of all, what you're working on. What's your project right now?
So my project right this moment, and I've been working on a lot of different projects. I just been way too busy, which is actually the only good side of this quarantine is that it helps me to catch up with all of my projects that I've been doing. So that's pretty nice. But right now, basically, we're relaunching the monologue show, season 2. We've been on hiatus for a long time. And that's actually because we had a lot of production things that we were going to do. And one of the things was we were going to have a live audience. And we've decided, well, you know what? Nobody's having a live audience. So I thought, well, this is a perfect time. And we haven't made an episode since, I want to say, like, July. And so since then, we've grown a fan base, like a really big fan base. And I say really big. It's just growing. It's not that big. I mean, you know, we've grown extra 10 people or something. But
wait, so you've grown your fan base by doing nothing. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah. The show Huckabee talked about the show on that show, talked about our show, which is insane. Yeah, we've gained fans on our Facebook page, The Monologue Show, and people have just started binge watching. We had 17 episodes, just started binge watching. And it's just me in my producer's kitchen with a, just like, honestly, it's not even a curtain. It looks like a curtain because we have beautiful video camera. But it's actually a tablecloth we got at Walmart for $3. Nice. And then I tell these monologue jokes. But like, there's no audience, so we do it YouTube splicing, and you just see me like come in all goofy and stuff, and people like it. And so now we're the reason we've been on hiatus is because people like it so much that we've been working on, like, I guess you could say, deals. No contracts have made its way to my hands, right? But yeah. There's been some serious Radio XM things that people want me to do with the show, and so. Basically, I just put it on pause to go, okay, do we need to repurpose something? And now I'm just like, everybody's in quarantine. All bets are off. Let's just do the show. So we're doing it at least as long as everybody's in quarantine. We're doing a whole season 2. So I don't know if that's 6 weeks, 10 weeks, 1 week. I have no idea. The show is just going to happen. That's where we're at.
And so where can people find it right away? Like, where is it? So just on Facebook?
Yeah, it's on Facebook and YouTube, but we go live on Facebook. We're going to be going live and I'll make this announcement on my Instagram tomorrow morning. But we will officially so you're the exclusive. we're going our Facebook Live on the Monologue Show. Just type in the Monologue Show, and it'll be Sunday at Sunday night.
Beautiful.
So trying to figure out the time. Sunday
All right,
night.
so people don't want to miss that. Now, your love and my love for late night. I mean, obviously, your love for late night carried you into that realm, and your love for the monologue in particular.
Yeah.
But we come down different streams for that. And we had a conversation when you were up here on the circuit tour.
Yeah.
Because there are certain things that divide people. There are cat people, dog people, Batman, Superman, Star Wars, Star Trek, and then Letterman, Leno. Like you can only be on one side or the other mostly with stuff like that.
It's true.
Or this way in this particular thing. Letterman is up on top, as he should be. And then
I wouldn't say that. I would say it'd be more like Leno way here, and then maybe on the side.
If you want to flip your phone upside down, feel free, but it doesn't change the actual reality. So, so talk to me about what you love about Leno. What made you fall in love with late night television, and what made you ultimately create a show about monologues?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, Leno for me as a kid, like that's who I saw first, and I didn't grow up with Letterman. When he was in late night with or the late night with Letterman, and he was doing all this crazy weird stuff, like doing a fake Christmas special for an hour and a half on a fake family that was breaking up. I didn't grow up with that weird stuff. By the time that I was exposed to late night at 10 or 11, I had seen this crotchety Letterman. So I'm just explaining how I feel. I saw this crotchety Letterman at Late Show with David Letterman, and he would just get up and talk, and the audience would laugh about inside jokes that he said from 20 years ago that I had no idea what was happening. So I say that to say I understand the appeal of Letterman, but for me, at 10 or 11 years old, I was just so in love with watching Jay Leno just come out and do 15 to 18 minutes of joke, just things that were going on in the news. And they were just so fast-paced, so clever. And the audience, he was getting applause all the time. And I thought it was great because I didn't need to understand. I didn't need to watch the news. I didn't need to, it's only been since I started maybe stand-up, since I started writing for late night shows when I was 18 is the first time I started to watch news on my own. But other than that, I would literally just go to Leno, and he would just go this, and this, and tell jokes. And so as time has gone on, all of the late night hosts have really gone away from monologues of lasting, 15, 18 minutes of just here's the news, let's just make fun of it. And the darker news that there is, the more joke opportunities that there are to exist. And so for me, I just want to say, hey, there's a lot, and a lot of my friends, they don't watch the news at all. I'm still one of the few people amongst my bubble of friends, and so they've watched all the episodes of the Monologue Show, and they literally tell me I go to you for the news. So I'm like, that's great. And my news is just odd news. It's really not even important. One of the things that we do with the Monologue Show is this is my plug.
Fair enough.
I'm just drinking. One of the things that we do on the Monologue Show is that we look at the things that the mainstream media is talking about too much, and then we ignore it. We just ignore it. So the one thing that season 1 we did not do, and we advertised this, is that we said we're not going to talk about the president because everybody was talking about Trump. We were the only late night show that we knew of that was just not talking about him. And so we were like, all right, forget it. Let's never talk about it. And it got to the point where I said one setup midway through the season, and I just mentioned Trump. He wasn't even in the joke. I think it was Trump's enemy something, and everybody was like, you said Trump, you're not supposed to say Trump. So now it's kind of a game. And when we come back this episode, we're going to mention coronavirus because there's just so many ripe jokes, and then that'll be it. After this, I'm not going to talk about coronavirus because I think that'll just make it more of a fun challenge to say, okay, we're all here in quarantine for something I'm not going to talk about. Let's go from here, and then just do it. So
this show was designed to never bring it up, and so you brought it up 10 times there, and so that's disappointing.
This show wasn't. Oh,
yeah, this one. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. So see, Leno to me, I think there's something dark within my soul that made me kind of go, you know, like we're just talking real perspectives in terms of how we saw them. I saw, because I was in college. I was in college when Letterman was at his peak, and I was just like they were diametrically opposed in a lot of the things that they did.
Yeah.
And I was drawn to the fact that Letterman didn't seem to care about his guests. It didn't seem to like there was this super kind of like, I don't even care if I have a show. Go ahead and fire me. And that showed up multiple times throughout his run of him almost going, fire me, like go ahead.
Yeah.
And to me, I was drawn into that kind of the sarcasm. And I have about 5 comics from the past that I didn't ever really consciously thought it through, but who I connect to certain areas of my own comedy that I do. And that's where I feel I draw a lot of that sarcasm from. But one of my favorite moments with Letterman was actually on his last show. And it was actually also one of my favorite family moments, because when Letterman went off the air, to me, like I have him legitimately as number 1, right? That's where I have. And when he went off the air, I made my kids, my middle daughter and my son, sit down and watch that show. And I was like, guys, like you're never going to see somebody like this again, right? Yeah. And a lot of guys have tried to do it and stuff. And so we sat down, and I have this photo, and I'll probably post it on my Instagram page, of my daughter and my son and myself in front of the TV as Letterman is signing off. And it was just one of those like amazing family moments to say, kids, like, look, and they never really watched it, but I was like, this every once in a while, there's one of those people. And I'm sure, you know, you would probably see Leno as the same. I mean, these are guys for however many years ran late night television, like decades, and both iconic.
Yeah. Well, and you know what's kind of interesting is that most late night hosts now they try their best to emulate Letterman. Like pretty much everybody will tell you they were influenced by David Letterman, right. Or Johnny Carson, but nobody really remembers Johnny Carson in my generation and under. So a lot, you know, Jimmy Kimmel loved Letterman still to this day. Conan O'Brien loved Letterman. You know, and all these late night hosts, and there's not many that have had the guts to tell the truth that Leno is just the greatest late night host to ever exist. I'm sorry. Okay, here's the thing. Leno called himself the McDonald's of late night hosts. Okay, and I know that could be construed as a negative thing, but you and me, we still go to McDonald's. I haven't had McDonald's for like a year. I'm praying for you on that one. But for me, I love McDonald's because you know what to get when you're there. You're not going to be confused. McDonald's never looks at you and is like, we don't care if you exist. McDonald's is like, get in here. Come on. We'll give you all the fat. We'll give you whatever you need. And that's what Jay Leno did. It's like he'd be there, give you all the jokes, make you laugh. He was a bit of an attention seeker. He loved to make people laugh. David Letterman, back when they were friends, Jay Leno would come over just to try to make Letterman laugh. He changed up his language a little bit. He would use funny words because he knew that Letterman loved like long language and words and everything like that. And and I also love the pace of I enjoy Letterman now, but I really like the pace of Leno compared to Letterman. But that's just how I kind of grew up, because Letterman's a little slower, but once again, he has that confidence behind him of like, go ahead, try to cancel me.
Well, Letterman didn't he's one of those guys that he didn't fear silence. I thought, like, it was something that I really respect. Like he would, if a joke did not go well, he didn't feel the need to jump on it with another joke. He also did this thing which I thought was so impressive to me growing up, and you never knew, but he would do a callback, and then he would do another callback, and then he'd do another callback, and at some point during the show, you just realized he hasn't done another one. And I realized but you didn't know it was the last one when he did it. And it was almost like he knew internally, that's the last time I can bring it up. But it felt like at first he was just milking. And then you realized that the show was ending. You're like, oh, wait, he completely left that topic. And there was this internal thing of like, I will run this into the ground and I will pull out just before everybody goes, that's annoying.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things that I actually appreciate about your stand-up. And when we were touring together, we both started to talk, and I think we both kind of could tell that it's like I was more of a Leno and you were more Letterman, just even by the way that we kind of choose to do our stand-up. Because one of the things that I love about watching you is that you get up on stage and it's like you just, let's talk. I don't know, like you're almost a bit of a firecracker in the sense that I never knew what to expect when you would get up on stage, but I knew I wanted to see it. I knew every time. I'm like, all right, do it. Let's see. What is this guy going to do? Whereas me, like, you know, I'm in the back and I'm like rehearsing the same show that I did that whole tour. Why am I still running the same jokes? But for me, I wanted that pace and I wanted it just go, 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 go. And, but you brought something out in me, because I think even towards the end, like somebody had driven 2 hours, I think, 2 hours to come see me. It was for his birthday. And we drove up 3 or 4 hours actually. And I was inspired by all the craziness that you had done that tour. And so I went right before I got up on stage, and I knew this guy, his wife took him to see me for his birthday, which was such an honor. I went and found a vacuum cleaner in the church and brought it to him. I wouldn't have done that if I wasn't like awesome. Totally into the kind of style of comedy that you were doing. That just isn't necessarily me. But I mean, he loved it. And I was like, yeah, like walk out with it. And so, you know, I was totally influenced by a couple of the things that you did on that tour, which cracked me up. And then you came back on and you gave him other stuff.
Yeah. I remember that. That was an awesome moment. But I think that's why, I mean, because you nailed it on that tour. We have people that still ask when you're coming back. And so we definitely want to make that happen at some point. But that's what I love about comedy. I actually don't like performing with, not that I'm going to say no to guys that perform like me, but when we did a show, even though, you know, I'm not going to say we're Letterman and Leno, but when we did the show, you could see those two very, you know, you're very kind of, you know, huggy, embracing, funny stories, keep it light. And I'll go in and attack a member in the audience, and they won't even know I'm attacking them. And that's why that show with the tour with you, to me, is so exciting, because in essence, that's kind of what was happening. You have these two people that were influenced by a very different late show host that affected our onstage performances. And yet that's what makes, I mean, every hero needs an enemy or like a villain, right?
Yeah.
Leno,
are you the Joker right now?
I could be. Leno made Letterman better, and Letterman made Leno better, because they both wanted to win, right? That late night thing. And I think not that we were trying to compete against each other, but I really appreciated your style. So even though I'm a Letterman guy, what I saw for the first time really was a Leno on stage, because I've never seen Leno really. Right? I avoided his show. I didn't want to do them. So it was super cool to do that. So if we can get a chance to bring those styles together again, I'd certainly be excited for that.
Absolutely. I would love to have you on the monologue show sometime. I have probably 6 weeks of existing. So,
well, we can do that. Now, here's that we want to get going, because I want to keep the kind of show, I'm kind of looking at that half-hour window here. But I did want to ask what's that?
Oh, I didn't even know what time this was. Continue. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. So like, it's not like a hard and fast number, but I want to respect your time and stuff as well. Yeah. But I did want to ask anybody who's on right now, give them a moment. If they have a question at all, this is the opportunity to do that. We're only going to be a few more minutes. Good cop, bad cop for CJ was saying there. I think it kind of plays that same sort of scenario. There's two different sides to it.
Someone mentioned Steve Allen, which he's a great late night host, obviously. Yeah. One of the founders.
And Johnny Carson, of course, was mentioned, which, of course, I mean, I don't know what Leno's background is, but I mean, Letterman idolized, you know, Carson. I grew up watching Carson.
I have recently started binge watching Carson, and there's actually a podcast from the Carson group now where they just play old episodes, and you can get it anywhere, which is amazing. And you just listen to it. And one thing I did not realize about Carson, there are a lot of jokes that he would tell during his monologue that would not land. They would like fail. but he was just so confident. Yeah, there was just some charm to him. Like, I'm listening, and I'm like, I almost want to see him get through it. Like, I've never seen a late night host do that. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see.
What's your view on late night now? Do you watch late night? I haven't watched late night just because I'm getting older, and it's like I'm going to bed at 11.
Yeah. Well, nowadays you can watch him at any time, you know.
Well, that's true. But like, what's your feelings on late night right now?
You know, I found myself over the past couple of years kind of falling into that trap of saying what other people are saying, of like, late night doesn't exist anymore. You know, it's totally different. And in a way, you know, I mean, I'm sure, yeah, it's definitely changed and evolved a little bit. But all in all, it's like late night is supposed to be something that's constantly changing and evolving. I mean, when you look at what Steve Allen did compared to what Jack Parr did, both of those, you know, they both were creating their own rules. Then Johnny Carson came in, and when Ed McMahon joined Johnny Carson right in the beginning, Ed McMahon goes, "So what are we doing on the show?" And Johnny Carson's like, "I have no idea." Like, that's the idea of late night, is that we have no idea. So, you know, when some people look at Stephen Colbert and go, all he's doing is, you know, bashing politics, you know, bashing the president and stuff, that's not late night. It's like, well, technically it is now. You know, I may not want to watch it because of that, but there's still a lot of people that will watch him. And then there's a lot of other people, you know. The thing that I don't like that late night has done is it's been too scripted lately. Have you noticed? Like, over the years.
I haven't, Like, that, just because I don't watch too much of it anymore.
Well, you should watch some now. But late night has been so scripted lately. They'll try to make it seem like something is, and especially Fallon is actually kind of the worst at this. He'll try to make it seem like something is just like happening for the first time, but they've rehearsed it. And just when you're a performer, you just know when it's fake. And there's been a lot of times where, like, all of a sudden he'll just, "Hey, do you want to do a dance? Okay, let's do a dance." And then music comes right on. Okay, that's rehearsed, because you would have had to take a second to figure out what music to play. And, you know, so that's my only issue right now, is that Johnny Carson used to be like, "Let's do it." And then they would just make stuff up. And, you know, the audience doesn't laugh. Like, they better. He burned his script one time. That wasn't a rehearsed thing. That was forget it. Let's burn the script. He and Ed McMahon both walked out just walked away. I was like, that's genius. So that's one of the things that I want to. My dogs are crazy. That's one of the things that I want to see back in late night. Yeah.
The less scripting.
The less scripting. I mean, I believe in, you know, scripting is good, but late night used to just be so, I don't know, random and unpolished. And I think that's the fun part of it.
Well, I think that's what Letterman did with a lot of his, I guess, sketch stuff. I don't even know. I mean, what do you call crazy pet tricks? I mean, that's
yeah.
But, like, so there was large segments of his shows that everybody's like going, "I hadn't seen this before." And within those sections, it almost became improv, because you can't write what the dog is going to do, what the bird is going to do, kind of like when Carson always had that guy from the zoo. And he'd bring out an animal. I can't remember that guy always came out with that brown zoo outfit. And he always brought an animal, and the animal always did something. And there'd be large segments where you knew the only thing on the docket was this guy's going to come out, or in Letterman's case, these guys are going to come out with animals. The rest of the 10-minute, 15-minute thing is all go with it.
Right. No, and that's exactly why. I think that's why people loved the animal thing, because you can't script an animal. You can't tell the animal who you have to do this and this exactly. You can do your best, but if it's an alligator, like, that alligator is going to do whatever that alligator wants to do. And so you as a host have to just be like, "All right, let's do this."
That's what I love about alligators, man.
Alligators specifically. I agree.
That's what I love about alligators. Where I know Marijane has a couple times been asking, and I was going to do this anyways. But, oh man, I shouldn't have had this smoothie. It's making me burp.
Yeah.
I'm breaking all the rules of interview shows, whatever now. Anyways, where can you be found on social media? Let's get all that out now so people can hunt you down and stalk you.
Yeah, so I am on every social media network at Chris Wineland Comedy. So that's going to be Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, all of it. And it's Chris Wineland Comedy. So you just type that in. I put up daily and weekly content. And they're all different. So, you know, the stuff I put up for Instagram is different than the stuff I put up for YouTube, stuff that I put up for TikTok, stuff that I put up for Facebook. Everything's different.
Beautiful. I tried to do that. I think I have the real Timmy Boyle on like 4 different platforms, Instagram. Yeah. But then it's like, then I had to just become Timmy Boyle on, you're not Chris Wineland Comedy on LinkedIn, are you?
No, I'm not. But I don't really use it. I always forget to use LinkedIn.
You should use LinkedIn.
That's what people say.
They're a sponsor of this show.
Are they? What?
No.
LinkedIn sponsoring you? Good for you.
Are you on MySpace is the question?
I am. Yes, I just got a MySpace. I'm trying to get hip with the world.
Oh, see, I've been on it for a while, and it's pretty much the only place I post. It's like I'm glad that you're finally on air.
Yeah, I'm just discovering it. So,
what is this here? Steve Forrest. Let's hear the best virus joke, boys. The best virus.
Like the virus joke?
Yeah. So what do you got? Do you have a virus joke?
Well, you know what? I'm actually working on my script for this weekend's The Monologue show. Let me see what I got up here.
Oh, you're going to go to your script. I see. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, these haven't been tested. There is no audience. So good luck to all of us. Okay. Here's the thing. All schools have been canceled. However, some schools are providing classes online. Yay, said homeschoolers. So, because they're homeschoolers. Get that? Here's another one. You're going to love this one. Especially you, Timmy. I don't know why. As you know, COVID-19 can spread from a young person to an old person, making this the first time a Boy Scout can get a badge for not walking an old lady across the street. Get a badge for it.
Yeah, no, I like that. You're right. That's a joke I enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a feeling you would. What else? Okay, I promise the jokes are going to be so much funnier when you watch them.
See, it's funny because so you're going, because again, this is just stylistically, and I love it. So you're going through and you've written these jokes. I mean, I can't remember the last time people ask me like stuff like, do you carry around a book with you? Like write down stuff. And you're a writer. Like I'm a writer too. Like I love the written word, and I take the craft of how to say things very seriously. But when he says, tell a virus joke, you go to these jokes you've written, and in my head I'm like, I don't know if I have a virus joke. I mean, I've been joking about the virus for days with zombie jokes and pictures online and little memes that I'm creating. And I realized I'm like, but that's how I go to the stage a lot too. It's like, I don't tell a joke per se as much as I joke about something. Again, stylistically, and neither is right or wrong. Like I said, I think it's what complements the two of us is I just thought about that. You went to these jokes that you've sat down and you've written, and I'm going, I don't have a virus joke. All I know is that I could joke about the virus constantly, but I don't have anything in a joke form.
Well, you know what? Those two jokes, like, you could say I wrote them, but like I spent maybe 2 minutes on them, I was just walking the dogs and I was like, all right, let's try it,
But that's a writer. You're a good writer.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you. Well, one of the things that I do, thankfully, I have a really great team, family. My wife is also a comedy writer, and she's just 10 times funnier than me. So I'll sit down before we film these and I'll read these jokes off. And and then I also have a couple writers that help write the show as well. And so we'll go through, and there will be just like, I'll hear somebody from my team just be like, nah. And I'll go, all right, cool. I'll cut it out. Those ones usually are not my jokes anyway. So I'm like, forget it. Forget those. Mine are the genius ones,
What I do want to acknowledge though, the video you posted today of you and your wife going shopping.
Yes.
And you talk about the one ply. That line is an amazing line. And for those of you got to go to Chris Wineland Comedy on Instagram and watch that video. And when you talk about there's only one ply, babe. That's amazing. That's quite.
Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate that. That was fun. I mean, I love doing skits with Micah. That's my wife. She's just she's so funny, and we automatically have this chemistry. So we're able to just kind of do these skits. We just went to Walmart and started improvising, and afterwards I was like, oh, I like this, and so we just kind of spliced some things together and made a skit out of it. That's
amazing, man. Well, it has been fun having you here, and I gotta go because I gotta go to sleep. This is already taken off.
Go put pants on, sir.
Just... Why? The point, people say that all the time. It's like, why? Where am I going? I'm not going anywhere for like a long time. Like, what do I need the pants for? I'm actually pantless.
Yeah.
If you have a religious background at all, my thing is my worst condemnation against the Adam and Eve experience was, not the separation from heaven and all that stuff or the paradise. It was all the fact that they had to wear pants from that point on. And it was like, guys, like, you literally killed it for the rest of us. I could have been wandering around with no pants, with no shame. And now I have to put pants on. But that's why this type of thing is great, because I can do that. I can't perform with no pants on stage. People frown upon it. Yeah. And so from here, or I make better money than I usually do. But the reality is that doing a show like this, I can just put on a hoodie and everything's good.
Yeah, true.
Oh, look at that! CJ has already put your link up there. That's very nice.
Thank you, CJ. I appreciate it.
I don't know if links work like that, but so anyways, it was a pleasure having you, man. It was good to see you, and I hope we get to perform again. This was great, just to spend an episode talking about late night in general, and super cool to see how it influenced your life, and I look forward to performing again with you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then let's talk. Maybe we can connect on the monologue show here coming up.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do that. So you guys have heard everything. It's just at Chris Wineland Comedy. You want to check that out. The monologue show is on Facebook and YouTube. You want to check that out. And you got one final words, my friend. What do you want to say?
To Jason, I am in Arizona. Yes. And everybody else, thank you so much. Just watch my stuff and laugh. I appreciate it.
Beautiful.
And stay safe.
That's the end of the show. I stole that bell from my high school classroom. And so that is our time, my friend.
Wow. I wish you would have told me that you had a bell. I could have found a bell maybe. But I just have this.
You just have a pen. Well, quite frankly, because I have this, I could have used that pen case, quite frankly. So.
Yeah, this is much better, trust me. And it's washable. Just put it in the washer after.
All right. See, that's why I should never talk after the bell, because now it starts to go downhill, right? Everybody just gets.
Yeah, we're here for at least 4 more hours.
Once the bell goes, it's got to stop. Yeah. All right, man. You've been amazing. Thank you so much for coming on and joining us here on Calling Comedians in Cquarantine. Stay well. Say hi to Micah for me, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks for having me.
All right, buddy. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Calling Comedians in Cquarantine. Please take a moment to like, share, subscribe, and ring the little bell so you and your friends don't miss any of the laughs. Episodes will be uploaded here until I run out. And be sure to check out the description below for links to connect with myself or my guests on social media, and also download the podcast version of this show. Until next time, remember, your brain, it's for thinking, not for eating. So just say no to zombies.